guys, so I am back with another tutorial for you today. I'm going to be doing the part 2 in my segment of my mini series using all of my Wet n Wild palettes that I have. And last time you saw me, I used the tutorial using primarily these two colors, this kind of teal color and then the lighter blue, and then it was really dark and smoky. This one's actually going to be a little bit darker, and I'm going to be using this other side. In this tutorial, I'm going to be using all drugstore products, so they're all very, very affordable, and they all work really, really well, and I would definitely recommend them. You can definitely use this for a nighttime look if you're going to a school dance, if you're having a really, really fancy party, or if you're going clubbing, or if you really just want to dress up your eye makeup for the day, then this would be perfect for you. So if you guys like to see how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. First, I'm going to start off using Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel, and I'm just going to massage this all over my skin. Then I'm going to apply a primer. This one is by Rimmel Fix Perfect Pro. I really like this one. And I'm going to massage that over that and kind of let it sit for a little while. And then next I'm going to take my Neutrogena Healthy Skin Liquid Makeup and I'm going to apply this with my Real Techniques buffing brush. As per usual, I get pretty stuck in my ways. So as you can see, I'm just dabbing this on different parts of my face and then I'm just buffing it in with my brush. And I feel like this gives a really, really natural finish that I really like for everyday wear. Also keep in mind if your foundation is a really off color, be sure to watch out for your ears and go all the way up to your hairline as well as your neck. Next, I'm going to be taking Urban Decay Primer Potion and I'm going to be applying this to my eyelids. This will help my colors pop just a little bit more, and if you have oily eyelids, this will prevent creasing. And then next, you're just going to take any old Scotch tape and take 2 strips and apply them to the back of your hand. And then taking my favorite Jack Black lip balm. This one is in Shea Butter. You can't really tell because it's kind of battered, but I'm going to apply this to my lips. Next, I'm going to be taking my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer and I'm going to apply this to my under eye area. You can go ahead and wait to do this till later since we are going to be putting tape over it, but I went ahead and did it now. Next, you're going to go ahead and pull that tape off of the back of your hand and apply it to the corner of your eye. I personally like using my eyebrow as kind of a guide, but you can kind of play it by ear. Also, if you want to check your angles, you can use either a pen or brushes to check what your angle is at. Next thing I'm going to do is take an angled brush from Rockin' Republic and a cool matte brown. I just use this one from MAC and I'm actually going to fill in my eyebrows a bit. You can completely skip this step if you want. Normally I don't do this, but my eyebrows were really bothering me that day. Next, I'm going to take an NYX Jumbo Pencil in Black Bean and run this atop the outer edge of my top lash line. It's really nice having that tape there because you don't have to worry about making a perfect line because it just basically does all of the work for you. Also, don't be afraid to blend this out a little bit with your finger. Then next, I'm going to be taking a Real Techniques shadow brush and I'm going to be taking that silver eyelid color from the Blue Head Me at Hello Palette and I'm going to apply it to the rest of my lid where that black isn't on. So I'm more so focusing on the inner 2/3 of the eyelid. And you can also take it up a little bit higher if you like. I, for some reason, was really cautious about it and didn't take it up high enough. Then you're going to want to take a fluffy brush and blend that out. Just to make sure there's no harsh edges or anything. Then next, I'm going to take a MAC 239, but you can use any basic shadow brush. And I'm going to be taking that crease color from the other side of the Blue Head Me at Hello palette. And then I'm just going to apply it on top of that black base from earlier. As you can see, having that tape there and having that base there really makes this a very, very easy look. You don't really have to work too hard to get it to look really pretty. Also, as you can see, I'm kind of flipping my brush over and dragging some of that blue pigment in towards my eyelid, but you can feel free to wait and do that later with a fluffier brush since it's a little bit easier. And then next you're going to want to take that even darker crease color and apply that on top of it, and this is going to add a lot more dimension, give it a lot more depth because it is so dark. It's essentially a dark navy blue. It's almost borderline dark gray with really intense blue shimmer. So it's really pretty. Next, I'm going to be taking this blending brush from Sonia Kashuk, and I'm going to continue to bring some of that darker blue pigment in towards the inner corner of my eye. I would actually recommend using a fluffier brush to do this. I started with my Sonia Kashuk one, but it's a little too dense for this, I think. And since I made the mistake of not putting enough silver pigment in the first place, I'm going to go ahead and go back in and add some more. This will make it look a lot better, and it'll also be easy to blend the two together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with a fluffy brush. Now that there's a little bit more pigment there to work with, it'll be a lot easier to kind of drag that blue in towards the inner corner. So it kind of creates kind of a faded effect, which is really nice. Then next, taking a little detailer brush from Real Techniques and that shimmery brow bone shade, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the inner tear duct a little bit more.
And then next, you're going to want to take a black gel liner. I'm using this one from Wet n Wild. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Real Techniques brow brush, and I'm going to line my top lash line with this. And because we have that tape there, it kind of serves as a really nice guide, so this is really easy. Now for the fun part, you can go ahead and gently peel off that tape. And if you need to clean up a little bit, you can either take a Q-tip or a foundation brush to clean up that area. And also, you're going to want to take that jewel toned blue and run that down the bottom lash line, as well as some liner. I actually forgot to film this part, so sorry. And then I'm just going to set my foundation with the L'Oreal True Match powder, and I'm going to go ahead and use the EcoTools powder brush. And just lightly go over everything to make sure it doesn't budge. And then using a MAC Refined Golden Bronzer and an EcoTools blush brush, I'm going to use this to kind of warm up my face a little bit. Go down my cheekbones, a little bit on my temples, and down my jaw. And then taking a blush brush from Crown and a Milani Baked Blush in Red Vino, I'm going to warm up my cheeks a little bit more with this. But be very careful because they're really pigmented. And then next I'm just going to curl my lashes really quickly. And then apply mascara. I'm using L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. And then lastly, I'm going to finish it off with the Revlon Lip Butter and Creme Brulé, and run that across my lips.
And that is the finished look. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. This would be a really fun nighttime look. As far as makeup is concerned, there are a lot of, I don't want to call them rules per se, but I would say there are definitely lots of suggestions as far as how to balance out your face. If you go for a really dramatic or vibrant eyeshadow, then typically you would want to go for more of like a muted or neutral lip. Or if you go really neutral on the eyes, it would look totally acceptable to have a really vibrant lip. I agree. That typically works out really well. I think it's different for every single person individually. If you feel more comfortable in a nude lip, then I would say go with a nude lip. If you are the type of person you don't really like nude lips and you think it makes you look dead, or you just don't have like the perfect nude lipstick you like, or if you just think you'd rather just wear chapstick, or you would really just prefer to just wear a color, then go ahead and go with whatever lip color you choose. These are just kind of my suggestions, and you don't have to use any of the things I use. You don't even have to put them where I put them or use tape or anything like that. This is just how I go about things. I don't think it's necessarily right or wrong, but it just differs on each person. So sorry, my bronzer wasn't technically drugstore. This is MAC Refined Golden. I actually can't find my Milani bronzer that I typically use, but everything else I used was drugstore. As per usual, I adore all of my drugstore products. I really, really like them. This Wet n Wild palette is pretty fabulous. If you like blue eyeshadow, these two colors are kind of like the premier of the palette, and also the matte black is really, really incredibly pigmented. Making these Wet n Wild videos for you, especially this palette, has really kind of gotten me out of my comfort zone as far as different colors go. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video, but I really am terrified of blue eyeshadow. Doing tutorials using this palette really, really helped me. So I really hope it helped you as well. Maybe give you some ideas for different eyeshadows and stuff. If you're just starting out and you need some kind of ideas and you don't really know what to do with these things, I feel like all of the things I do are pretty simple. I'm not a makeup artist by any means. I'm just a normal girl. So if I can do these things, chances are you can do them, no problem. So yes, I think that concludes this video. So I really hope you guys like this. If you have any requests or suggestions or questions for me, please feel free to either YouTube message me or leave a comment or go to my Twitter and ask me on Twitter or ask me on Facebook. I've had a couple people and some of my friends ask me questions on Facebook, and they're like, I'm so sorry for bothering you, but honestly, I absolutely love getting makeup questions. And I remember a time not too long ago, I was completely clueless and I had no idea what I was doing, and I was just starting out with makeup, and I had a really good friend to help kind of get me into everything and answer all of my questions and really show me how to do a lot of this stuff. So I would love to be that for someone else, just because I know it sounds really melodramatic, but makeup has seriously changed my life. And obviously I'm not going to go into this career-wise, but it's definitely something that I'm going to do and enjoy for a really, really long time. So I can only hope that I could maybe be that for at least one other person. Then all of this YouTube stuff and all the editing and uploading and recording and purchasing products and reviewing them, all of it will be worth it. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Bye.